But I'm very happy to be here. This is totally new for me. This exhibit that I have is Aliento Tequila, and I won't tell you how it came about. I'll just jump right into a little bit of reading that I prepared. My exhibit will be coming to the Mexican American Culture Center September 13th, which is a Saturday. I'm going to read two essays. One is an introduction to the, let me find them here first. The introduction to the world of tequila. And then the second one is about this image. And you can pass it around. It's fine if you can if you want to handle it. But I have bigger prints, but I couldn't bring them. So let me start with the introduction to the world of tequila. Tequila, like Mexico, is mestizaje, a coalescence. When the fermented pulque, the drink born in Mexico's indigenous native world, embraced the alambiques, the stills of the Spaniards, tequila was born. Mexico's iconic drink is earthly and deep-rooted in a past that is both complex and immense. As early as the 16th century, the national drink of Mexico was known as vino de mezcal, from the Spanish word vino for wine and the Nahuatl word mezcal for agave. The mezcal of the Nahuatl culture played an enormous role in the lives of Mesoamericans. Not only was the agave critical for sustenance, but it also provided shelter, wardrobes, and tools. Not surprisingly, mezcal was considered divine and endowed with supernatural powers to the extent that Mayahuel, a Venus-like goddess that personifies the maguey plant, became the symbol of fertility for the Aztecs. The town of Tequila, from the Nahuatl word meaning a place of worth, is where land, agave, and man came together to produce the iconic spirit of ancient and modern Mexico. It is there in Tequila and in other towns of the state of Jalisco that I set out to explore the contemporary world of tequila. My search led me to the original distilleries that literally founded the tequila industry, as well as a series of stepchild artisanal tequileras totally committed to the ancestral ways of tequila making from harvest to bottle. In this landscape of blue agave, I also discovered traditions of culture and religion, both ancient and modern, indigenous and foreign. And still, in the midst of all of this, the everyday toil of man becomes unified with the land and the sky to produce a spirit that is true to the mythic character of Mexico and its people. This photographic series reflects that mystical space where the weight of history and the bounty of earth blend into a spirit called tequila. Tequila is the elixir that faithfully remains the guardian of Mexico's landscape, tradition, and national identity. It is indeed that ancient lord of fire with a savage smile. This next essay is specifically about that photograph. At sunrise, light came calling. I set out from Atotonilco, Mexico, en route to the most Mexican of towns, Arandas. Fields of blue agave flanked the road to Arandas, as if standing guard over the spirit that once fueled the Mexican Revolution. The morning was crisp, and the sun hid behind a mountainside. A day or two earlier, I had studied the landscape and knew that I could make some good images if the light was favorable. The rows of agave were symmetrical, as they have been for the past 6 to 8 years, until the harvester, the jimador, comes calling. The jimador must be a master of his craft. The sharp daggers of the agave are merciless, unforgiving, and demand respect. As my eyes scanned the hills of this beautiful landscape in the state of Jalisco, I saw movement. Movement will always stop a hunter as well as a photographer, likely because reportage photography is half hunt and half art. A speck of red at the top of the hill stirred my interest. Then I saw that Iberian import that has soiled the land right along with its master for centuries, the horse. Echoes of the horse's name came swiftly to my ear and triggered a challenge driven by pure adrenaline. The climb to the top of the hill was strenuous, but the majestic view made the trek worthwhile. Once at the top, I realized there were 2 horses, not one. The horses were being driven by a father and son team, a master, and his young and unwilling apprentice. I thought for a moment how often the sweat of your brow is not chosen, but inherited. I've been a photographer many years, and I'm still overwhelmed by the feeling of great respect for my subjects. Sometimes they welcome me into their world with blinding trust, and at other times they turn me away with undisguised scorn. I began to take photographs in the midst of this beautiful backdrop and with those horses I had been pursuing for days. I struggled to keep up with the horse, to frame, to compose, to catch my breath, and to defend myself from the painful stabs of the agave. I worked hard at making photographs, knowing very well that these moments would only have permanence if I fully committed to my duty. In exhaustion, I craved the energy of my youth. I struggled to keep up with man and beast until my shoes were destroyed, hopelessly damaged by a single morning of trekking with men who were born into a life so distant from ours. I watched the horse strain wearily each time the plow hit stone. Yet both man and beast continue the task of the hour, of the day, of a lifetime. To the men of the world of tequila, salud. And that's it.